Okay, sir.
We're good to go?
Good to go.
Okay. Buenas and good afternoon. This meeting is called to order. It's Wednesday, July 31st, 2024. In compliance with Public Law 24-109, the Guam Ancestral Lands Commission published the meeting announcement for the GALC regular board meeting scheduled for Wednesday, July 31st, 2024. In the Guam Daily Post on July 24th, 2024 and July 29, 2024 in the Government of Guam Public Notice Portal and the GALC website. Can we have a roll call? Would that be Kathy, you as the acting director?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Chairman Ronald Eclavea,
Present.
Vice Chairman Ronald Laguarnia,
Yes, yeah.
Secretary Treasurer Maria Cruz,
Here.
Commissioner Anita Orlino,
Here.
Commissioner Jeffrey Rios.
I agree.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, you have 4 members present and you do have a quorum.
Just Masi, Kathy. We'd
When
like to
correct.
acknowledge the presence of our legal counsel, Lee Miller. Okay, buenas. Okay, let's go down to item 3, approval of minutes, June 12th, 2024.
Chair,
Okay,
I have a change there, an amendment to change under,
Vice Chair.
yes, I just spotted one. For the June 12th, correct? I
Yeah,
think it's on page. On page 3.
Page 3.
Yes, check that. Under my statement. Vice Chairman Arlaguane, okay. We'll give her our regards, but it says there we have to feed her. Feed. Is that feed? Where did I see that? There.
On page
I
3.
don't see the page. I think it could be on page 4. I don't see the pagination there. It's the where it says, yeah. Just tell Kathy, say the board was concerned with the matter and we want to feed all our government employees with the due service. I don't know what that, we're not gonna feed them. The word feed. We want to treat
Treat.
all our
T-
government, yeah, treat all our government employees.
So that should be
with the-
treat.
Yeah, we have to treat them right, not feed them. Okay, that's one.
Okay.
Catch that one, Kathy?
Yes, sir. Noted.
I'd like to note also that there's a little bit of slight off transcriptions on the on some of the minutes, but I'm not sure if that really factors in, especially since we include in our motion, notwithstanding the the errors in the translation. Can we get a comment on that? Legal counsel?
Wait, you don't know, now they're using a different term now, not translation. I think you're talking transcription.
Transcription. Did
There
say
you go.
transcription.
Okay,
Mr. Chairman, it's approval of the minutes and the precise contents of the minutes are at the discretion of the board. You're not required to have literal word for word. The minutes don't literally have to be word for word. So whatever, so long as a majority of the commission believes that the statements they are approving in minutes correctly reflect the discussion, then those are the minutes.
Very good, very good. Thanks for clarifying that. I have one more clarification regarding the discretion of the chairman to amend the agenda per our vice chair's concern in that last meeting. How would that affect like certain people in the public that might be thinking that it's going to be coming up at a certain time, and then I happen to move it up earlier, and those people that were interested probably in that particular agenda item missed it. So that would still be at the discretion of the chairman, correct? Regardless of the fact that we might get a little bit of a slack from somebody coming in thinking it's down there in the agenda about this time or whatever.
Mr. Chairman, members, we publish a starting time for the meeting. We don't necessarily guarantee the time any particular item is going to be taken up. Who knows how much discussion will ensue on any particular item. Likewise, there is always the opportunity for items to be tabled, items to be taken out of order. So it's the exact order in which things are taken up are largely in your hands, and for better or for worse, so long as we're in public session, so long as we're continuing to stream the meeting, if a member of the public decides to step out, well, that's for them to decide.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thanks for that clarification also. Appreciate it. Okay, we're still in the minutes.
So, Mr. Chairman, members, we'll need a motion and a second
Yes.
to approve the minutes,
Yes.
subject to the amendments which have previously been requested.
The amendments that were previously requested today, you mean?
Yeah, just
Yes.
The one I
Okay. Got it.
added on. All for the motion, Mr. Chair.
Do we hear a motion on the floor?
Yes, I don't know, Mr. Legal, if I'm allowed to make my own motion on my own correction.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Okay, so be it. Without further ado, Mr. Chairman, I would like to move to amend the changes from feed to treat on the June 12th minutes.
Okay, and
correction
so
of-
you're making a motion to also approve the minutes.
Well, let's do the correction first.
Oh, our legal counsel said that when the motion is made for the minutes, it would include your previous motions or any previous alterations. So that's already going to be included in the motion. So once we approve, the way I think what our legal counsel said is that once we make the motion to approve these minutes, it would include your alterations, correct, Mr. Miller?
Yeah, I mean, unless somebody, Mr. Chairman, members, unless somebody objects to the correction, we'll just consider it, the correction approved. At the same time, we're approving the text of the minutes themselves.
Okay, then so be it then, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so are you making, would you like to make we get a motion on the floor to approve the minutes?
Yes, and we're subject to the corrections that I indicated.
Okay, motion on the floor to approve the minutes of what day is that again?
June 12th.
June
Yeah,
12th.
Did we get a
June 12th.
second?
And we need a second. I need a second.
I have a question before we second it. Okay, so
I think it
I'd
needs.
like to
excuse
go
me.
ahead and add.
Once we get a second, then we move to discussion.
Right.
Okay. So I second it.
Okay, it's seconded by Commissioner Cruz. Discussion. So Commissioner Cruz, you had something to bring up.
Yes, I just want to make sure that it's clear that approval of the minutes is also subject to corrections per audio recordings for that day.
Yes, okay, very good. I did bring that up to our attorney and he did say that it doesn't need to be word for word. It can be slightly off as long as the essence of what we're approving in the minutes is there. So I'm glad he made that point, but so noted, Commissioner Cruz. I'm glad you brought that up. We've always included that in the past. So any other discussion in the minutes? Okay, no further discussions. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I,
Aye. All those, any nays? No nays? Kathy, motion passes for the minutes? Okay, so we
Yes,
move
sir.
now.
Thank you.
Okay, let's move down to item 4, Acting Executive Director's Report. Kathy?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Buenas and half a day, everybody. Okay.
They can.
First thing I'd like to mention is that Executive Director Birch will we had the opportunity to speak with Mr. Birch and he told us that he will be able to return to work real soon. So that's good news.
Very good.
I wanted to also speak on the Summer Youth Employment Program. Our interns were here from June 17 to July 19. Unfortunately, we never got to formally introduce them to the board, but we received 2 interns this year. We had Miss Anisha Tomagan. She will be an incoming senior from the village of Dededo, and Ava Simeon, an incoming sophomore from the village of Tamuning. Both of them will be going to JFK. And then, so that internship ended. Our citizen-centric report was completed and submitted to the OPA, the speaker's office, and it has already been posted on our website. The FY23 audit has begun. Submission of documents and meetings have begun with the OPA and EY. As the audit develops, more information will be given. I'd like to thank all of you for your presence and support during the public hearing on July 26, 2024. I think it went fairly well. I'd like to remind the commissioners of your applications. If you have not submitted them, please submit them as soon as possible because the legislature was called into a special session this month, which leaves just one more legislative day. So that would be in August, which will then terminate everybody's tenure on the board. We will no longer have a board.
Right, we won't have, definitely we won't have a quorum, right?
Correct. The only person who is current is Vice Chair Laguardia.
Right, okay.
And then finally, the presentation for the investment opportunities with BGIS and Raymond James is still pending. We just have to schedule a date where everybody is available to meet with Raymond James and BGIS, as well as members of the GITA. That concludes my report. If you have any questions, I'm available. Thank you for the opportunity to update you.
Ms. Masi, Kathy, questions?
Yeah,
I'd
I have a
like
question.
to-
Go ahead,
Okay.
Chairman, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, I'd just like to remind the board to turn in your applications if you haven't done so already. That's regarding the reappointment to the board. Is that correct, Kathy? That's the reappointment.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
but that's to the governor's office?
Yes, ma'am. I sent
So-
out the application packets along with your old your previous application. I emailed it to everybody. If you'd like, I can forward that email again today.
Okay, I didn't see mine. I missed my application from the last time.
Okay, Kat, can you please resend it and let's get those applications in, please?
Yes,
We
sir.
definitely need you guys on the board for sure.
Okay.
Okay, Vice Chair?
Yes, yeah, Kathy, do you, have an available, a list available of the federal access lands that are released and subject to be returned to the original landowners? And as a result, also with the Attorney General's, letter of ruling? Any information regarding those matters? Because, you know, it was brought to the attention of at the hearing for, confirmation hearing for, Ms. Angela Camacho and Luisa. And, we would like to get, if you can get us an update on that. And, also, is there an update on the properties up at, with regards to, I think the one in Tizen? With, if I'm correct, with, is that a sale there with DPW? I mean, I forgot, it's been a while. Joey, can
You're
you?
talking about the one we're gonna RFP?
Yeah, yes, yes, yes.
Oh, I think Gita's gonna give us an update on
Okay,
that.
okay.
Yeah,
What is- Okay,
actually, I was gonna mention also that, the draft RFP is completed by Gita, but, procurement law prohibits us from advertising that. So if you'd like, if the board would like, I would like to review it, and if everything is in order, I'm not sure how you want to do it, but we cannot make that RFP public right now.
correct. But just, yeah, just an update on our lands that are our properties that are.
We'll clarify with Gita on their
Okay.
on their update presentation we got coming up.
Mr.
that-
Vice Chair, I'm sorry, may you clarify, you wanted a list of
Yeah.
all our available lands?
Yeah, yeah, the ones that were, I think, Mr. Director Birch provided a list of those, and I believe, the USO is one. And others, there are a list of others that are, that, were
If we can
returned.
get an update on those
Right.
properties that were supposed to be returned.
Correct,
Also,
and,
okay,
okay, that's it.
Okay, I also have a quick question regarding, I did get a message from Ted Nelson regarding, he's requesting, I don't know if you guys got that, Joey or Kathy, or the agency regarding guard houses. He's talking about guard houses. Is that barriers blocking his family's legal access to properties in the Marble Cave?
Mr.
Samsung
Chairman?
area? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, we are aware of that. We're setting up a meeting, next week with, Joey and
Okay.
Mr. Nelson. So would that matter
Very
will
good.
be handled on the
okay,
side?
good. Okay, that's great. He did message me regarding that. Okay, very good. Anything else? That's it for Kathy's the director's report. No further questions for her. We can move on.
We have the Commissioner Rios online now.
Oh, okay. There he is. I don't know if you can hear us, but welcome, Commissioner Rios. Buenas. Do you have any questions for the director's report?
No.
No?
No, just saying hello. No, I'm good.
Commissioner Lino, you're fine?
I'm fine.
Okay,
I'm good.
very good. Let's now move down to item 5, Gita's progress report.
Good day, everybody. Are you able to hear me clearly?
Yes,
Yeah.
very
Clear.
good.
Good day, everybody. My name is Megan, and I'll be presenting the Gita monthly progress report. So starting off with Northern Market, they have a monthly rent of $27,854.51. and an outstanding balance of 1,967,758.34. Their last payment was received on February 8th of 2023. We do have a couple project updates. The hard copy of the approved lease amendment was signed and submitted by Northern Market on July 5th to GALC management for signatures. Northern Market is working with GWA on some additional requirements for their clearance on the permit application. And they expect to secure the permit within 3 months of signing as required under the amendment. A draft lease incorporating the terms of the letter of intent was sent to Community First on July 10th.
I'm sorry, can you just repeat that last part on the very last part you said on regarding Northern Market, the last part?
Northern Market expects to secure the permit within 3 months of signing as required under the amendment. That part?
Oh, did you say permit?
Yes, permit.
Oh, okay. That's the permit regarding,
The permit regarding their clearance for the building, I believe, with GWA.
oh, I didn't know that they needed another permit. Okay, maybe we could get a clarification on that later. Okay,
Okay.
okay, continue.
Okay. A draft lease incorporating the terms of the letter of intent was sent to Community First on July 10th, and negotiations are ongoing regarding the lease and the pad construction.
Okay,
Moving on to Quick Space. They have a monthly rent. Actually, they did have a rent escalation effective May 1st, 2024. So their monthly rent now reflects $4,069.31. And they do have an outstanding balance of 0. We received their last payment on July 15th.
so it's up, it's 4,069, you're saying?
Yes, and 31 cents.
Not 429, 4,029. It's
It's been updated since this report was due.
Yes, it's been updated since the last report.
okay. So just must say, continue.
Matson, they have a monthly rent of $27,733 and an outstanding balance of 0. Their last payment was received on July 12th. Transsteel, they have a monthly rent of $500 and an outstanding balance of $5,500, and their last payment was received on June 24th, 2024. AT&T, they have a monthly rent of $22,939.42 and an outstanding balance of 0. We received their last payment on July 4th, 2024. We did have that legislative public hearing that took place on July 26, 2024, in regard to the passage of legislation for the extension on the terms of their lease. And as we all know, their lease expires on September 30th, 2024. Smithbridge, Guam, they have a monthly rent of $8,800 and an outstanding balance of 0. And we received their last payment on July 4th, 2024. FCAG, Farmers Cooperative, we are still pending submission of their CY 2023 financial statements to determine their annual lease. They did request for an extension for submission of their certified financial statements on June 19th. But GITA did inform them that they needed to send in a formal letter requesting for that extension, as they would need to obtain approval from the GALC Board Commission. We were able to make some follow-ups after that, but we haven't gotten a response since June 19th regarding that extension and some submission of their certified statements. Guam Environmental Protection Agency, they have a monthly rent of $8,000 and an outstanding balance of $328,000. Their last payment was received on February 1st, 2024. Reconciling of accounts is still ongoing. GITA is now in communication with DOA to obtain a full payment history in hopes of settling our reconciliations we can figure out what to do from there. DPHSS WIC, they have a monthly rent of 8,400 and an outstanding balance of 20,699 and 35 cents. Their last payment was received on June 26, 2024, and the lump sum payment amount of 16,800. Moving on to other items, the F12 Polaris mitigation plan. They are pending permit application approval that was submitted in the first week of June 2024. And once that permit is obtained, the clearing and mitigation will occur simultaneously. PCR Environmental will also be conducting the environmental assessment, monitoring, and directing of the work. The GALC owned lots in Teton. The DON was published on July 10th, 2024, with comments due by July 24th, 2024. However, no comments were received. Therefore, a draft RFP was submitted to GALC for review and approval. And that concludes the Gita monthly progress report. Should you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.
So Judge Masi Megan, appreciate it. Questions, board?
Yeah, I have a comment, Mr. Chair.
Vice Chair.
Yeah, as we considered all those debts that they are is that EPA and the others, WIC and all those other outstanding balances, is there an attempt to recover those as soon as possible? Because that's a lot of money back payment, Is there by Gita, is there an attempt to inform them that they must come out with some payments?
Yes,
That's a lot
so
of money.
yes, sir. In regards to all of the outstanding balances or just with Guam Environmental
Yeah,
Protection?
all of those that are paying, some of them are in the thousands,
Yes, sir. We do understand that. We do try our best every month to collect. Unfortunately, it just builds up over time with some of the tenants. We do try our very best to collect every month.
And then reinforce that you're working out with you.
Yeah.
In regards to GIPA, we are working with DOA, so hopefully we're able to collect from there once we get all of our numbers to match.
Okay, I understand that. This has been going on for quite some time. Attorney Miller, is there a way where we can work that matter to have them force them to start paying up, catching up? That's a big amount of money. And it's like, look at that last payment, EPA, was that in February?
Yes, sir, that was in February.
February, it's already August already. Next this week is August. They have an extremely huge outstanding balance. And along with the others too. I hate to hear those numbers, And is there a way that we can kind of like police them to start paying up? I know it's
Mr.
government.
Vice Chair, members, certainly, you can either adopt as a policy or take each lease on a sort of lease by lease basis, and at some point you can direct council to frankly send your tenant first we send what's called a demand letter, and then second we send something called a notice of default, and we tell them either pay up or you have to get out.
Right.
And Guam EPA might be, we might not go down that road with Guam EPA, but for certainly for your private sector leases, as I said, you can either adopt as a general policy statement that, for example, anybody who's down 90 days, that will move from collections to litigation, and we'll pursue it that way. Or you can look at each lease and make a judgment for any particular lease when you want to move from collections to lawyering.
Thank you very much for that, Mr. Miller, and I would suggest that we move towards that that matter in that way, because it just keeps prolonging and dragging. So I hope the other commissioners would agree. Mr. You as well, Mr. Chairman, that we go that
Board
route.
members? Yes, board members, thoughts on that? Commissioner Lino?
One example is the WIC, as Gita had mentioned. Their monthly rental is 8,400, right? And the last payment was in June, right, Megan? And
Yes,
then
that's correct.
their arrears are 20,699.35, right? They made a payment of 16,000. Is that minus off the arrears, or what is that, a lump sum of 16,000?
Oh, so it was already minus from their outstanding balance. Their outstanding balance prior was, I believe, in the 30s.
In the 30s?
Yes.
So the 16,000 lump sum that they just made is to offset that.
Yes.
So
Correct.
what is their correct balance now?
Oh, their correct balance is 20,600.
That's the active, the one showing now that they need to pay that up. That's one example, okay? And another one is, like TransSteel, their monthly payment is only $500 a month. And what is his arrears? And we've given, and I know we've discussed this previously, we gave him time. I think his wife is undergoing some kind of medical, or he has hardship, and we understand that. But time is of essence. We need to collect this. We're giving them such, and I agree with our legal counsel that and then we could refer to him for him to letter warning, or and things like that, and move on. I mean, it's been too long. We've been very, very lenient, and I believe we can't do that any longer. We need to collect, especially, and if WIC program is what you call that, matching fund with government of Guam, is it, or is it strictly federally funded, or is it matching funds from the government of Guam?
Also note that.
I can answer that. WIC is paying 100% federal funds to the lease.
Okay, that's federally funded.
Yes,
So-
yes, ma'am.
Then I don't understand, because I'm pretty sure all federally funded aspects like that, they do pay on time, unless, that's why I'm asking if they're matching funds, because I could see the government not putting their share in, but the federal has theirs in place, right? So I believe that we could check in, and I agree with Councilor Miller to check up on them. What's up? Right, Mr. Miller?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, presumably a stern letter from your legal counsel will prompt all these tenants to at least share some up-to-date information as to what their plans are for paying off their debts.
Exactly. Okay. Maybe, we could move on to that. Megan, and, with Gita and the legal
Yes.
counsel.
So I believe in regards to TransSteel, he is on I believe a payment schedule. He did make a lump sum of 2,000 back in May. He is attempting at making or bringing his arrears down. Also with WIC, they made a lump sum payment also in April, I believe, in the amount of 25,200. So those two tenants in particular, they have been attempting at bringing their arrears down.
Yeah, I understand that. I know, and we appreciate that. But what I'm trying to say, that it's not been a short term. This is a long term, and we do give them a break. And now we're asking for them to up it and, pay up.
Yes, understood.
Thank you.
Well, it begs the question, like if they are federally funded and the arrears has built up throughout the
Mhm.
years. I'm just wondering how, if it's federally funded, how they're gonna come up with the balance per se.
I believe that they're federally funded, that they're up to par as what, because, at school, for example, there's a federal program and I see that they do on time, they pay up on time. So
Gita, is it,
know what's
and Kat,
up
is it-
with-
yeah. Gita and Kat, is it just a matter of them requesting a sum from the federal government to catch up on this, or how does that work? Because if it's federally funded, this is years already.
Well, I'm just gonna say that right now with the Department of Administration, their accounting system is extremely challenging because they just switched to this new system. But during our inspection after Typhoon Mawar, we spoke with, I believe it was Miss Castro, right, Megan? The person in charge at WIC up in Teason?
Yes, I believe so.
Yes, so we spoke with Miss Castro, who told us that what's happening is that the renewal of their grant is not it doesn't tie in with the government of Guam's fiscal year. So their grant is like somewhere in June and July. June or July is when their grant is renewed. And by the time their grant is renewed, it's like we're closing out our fiscal year into the new fiscal year. So that's what's been happening. It's not that they're not, with WIC at least, it's not that they're not paying. It's just the timing of their grant versus the timing of our fiscal year with government of Guam is a little bit off. So that's why because since I've came here, they've been pretty good. It's just the delay in processing of their payments because of the different timing with their grant and our fiscal year.
Okay, I'd like to also note with the board that yes, TransSteel has, we do have a payment schedule with them. We have an agreement with them, a new agreement with them to catch up. And also we see that WIC has made a lump sum. So apparently they're addressing this. I think my question was just in general per se, how it works. And then they ended up getting arrears, in particular WIC and GEPA. So I'm just curious where and how we're gonna resolve them.
I think
Mr. Chair?
my concern also, Mr. Chair, is GEPA, because that payment that they made in February 2024 was for February 2021 based on the books.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair?
Okay, Vice Chair and then Commissioner Lino.
Yeah. I'm suggesting that now that we have our good, well intact and effective and aggressive attorney, Mr. Miller, hats off to you, sir. I think we should take those matters straight up front and have him send those guys letters. The buck stops here. Let's start sending out those notices, the first notice and after that, the second notice, and let's proceed that way and let's see how they react.
Very
Because-
good. Can we get an update just on what was the last thing we discussed with GEPA regarding that situation, just so we're on an update with that. And then Commissioner Lino, you had your hands up.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, with that in mind, does this money go directly to Gita or it goes to DOA and then DOA pays out? Am I correct, Kathy? Or anybody knows about
Yes.
the payment? Is it direct or does it go to what do you call that? Another party and then they pay out?
So what happens is, the checks get cut by Department of Administration and those checks, those checks go directly to Gita. They go
I-
directly to Gita because they're our property managers and then Gita pays us.
Right.
Okay. So, okay, so where is the timeline for that? How, if I can recall, yes, they pay a DOA and then DOA will cut. I could recall that, but how long does DOA? Let's say they receive the whole amount of 20,699.35. I'm just saying, and
Mhm.
then it comes to DOA, and then how long is the process? 90 days, where DOA supposedly have to pay that out to Gita?
I think
Actually,
that's,
the
a-
payment, yeah,
Yeah. that's a different thing, like from regular, like government vendors, right? That's a different,
Yeah, it's supposed to,
a
because
different
this
time.
is rental, and they should know very well. You start out, okay, they're very nice at the beginning, yes, we agree. 8,400, okay, monthly payment. And then all of a sudden, it just stops and it subsides. Okay, so well, we'll just let it go because they don't push on us, but we need to push for that.
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
If
ma'am.
DOA holds it for 90 days, so we have to know that on 90 days, let's say January, June, July, and August, payment is due on September 1st, for example. If they have 90 days, we give them like 1 day. And I think it's more accurate if they do that, and we're up to par, and recognizing that they have 90 days to pay it out. What happens on those 30 days after they receive it I don't know what they do. And still they don't pay out after 90 days when they have the deadline to pay out on the 90, 90 days.
Which reminds me, I'd like to ask the board, vice chair, board members, Gita, if you remember that, it's kind of vague with me, but I think that Ancestry, they were already occupying the building and the property. Joey, they were occupying the properties for a while, right? Before we ended up coming in.
Right.
And if I recall correctly, then I guess that's where the parts of the arrears came in. If I recall correctly, maybe not. I'm just wondering if that was also part of the arrears, because we end up coming in and saying, well, we are the owners of these properties now, and you've been there since this time, and you owe us this and that. I'm just, Gita and Joe, you recall that was the situation, right?
After it came in our inventory, yes. After, we're in charge of that place, right? The GALC.
The arrears are not, doesn't involve any back rent. So yeah, the arrears are from, going forward. Yeah.
From going forward, from when we,
Yes, sir.
so once we took over, they were starting arrears on,
Not, that's when,
they were having problems paying. I mean,
I can't recall that far back, but yeah, the arrears are, going forward, when ancestral lands and, that particular government agency, executed a license, and then going forward, I believe they may have been on time, but again, the arrears are not for back rent like AT&T. It's just rent going forward when we executed a license with them.
Then they started having
okay,
a
okay, that's clarified. So just want to say on that. Okay. I know that we did have a little bit of, in our time, the issue with the government evicting another government agency or something like that. It was a lot of, it's a political, it's political per se. Doesn't matter. It is political. And so that's why
Mr.
we're
Chairman,
in this case. Yeah, Vice Chair.
I think we're wasting a lot of time now. I think I'm gonna come up with a motion. I move that we take action as advised by our attorney Miller. And we send all these guys their first notices, and thereafter that, their second notices. Let's run this thing like a business. We have been hammered already publicly on this matter. The buck stops here. Let's send them the letters and let them respond. Okay? Let's not get into the lost in the weeds. Let's
I agree.
start working on this and move forward.
Well, he has a motion on the floor. Do I have a second? So Commissioner Lino, you're seconding that motion?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a motion on the floor to move forward with litigation on these outstanding balances. Okay, we have a second, so discussion. By the way, I'd just like to note also that on item 5 or item 6, old business, we do have GEPA account reconciliation next payment on item B.
Okay.
So we do have GEPA on the agenda today on item 6, old business.
Okay.
Just to make the board aware of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at that.
That's on the agenda.
Okay.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor by Vice Chair Aguanya, seconded by Commissioner Lino.
Okay.
Now we're in discussion regarding the motions.
No discussion.
Any discussion? Okay, Commissioner Rios.
Yeah, I just wanted to, since they're on the agenda, should we maybe give them a chance to maybe explain themselves, maybe about their outstanding, and then maybe move forward with the motions to, first letter. I'm just thinking, sure, they're probably prepared to discuss that and might have a solution to the problem. I'm thinking, but not sure.
Yeah.
I like the idea of moving forward though, but
That-
I think,
Okay,
I like
Kathy?
the idea of moving forward. I wonder if it applies to all the accounts, like all of our outstanding accounts, because, we have private and government that are outstanding.
That's very good outlining that. We have to be specific on which accounts this motion affects, so I know it doesn't pertain to,
Otherwise, it might contradict what we've already been doing in the past. We've made some arrangements with Guam, what is his name, with Steel, and we have
Grand
arrangements.
Steel?
We have arrangements with the we have already 2 arrangements in place. I just feel like we should give every one of them an opportunity to come up with a solution before we press on. Otherwise, I feel like we're going to be treating each of these guys differently. Should be fair.
Not
Awesome.
not necessarily, because we have given them chances. Yeah, like maybe TransSteel. When does that expire? We just look into that. Yeah, you're right. Not all of them, because like with Northern Market, there's it's upcoming thing. I said examples, some of them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. That's all. I'm just concerned that, we should, we want to be fair to all of our accounts, although, they are falling back and we do need to take action. I think maybe giving them an opportunity to be on the agenda for a meeting upcoming, or at least inviting them to speak and putting them on the agenda for the next meeting so they can kind of explain themselves moving forward. And we, try to come to some resolution with it, like we have been with other accounts. So that's all. I just think that we, just trying to move forward, but I don't want to move forward in a positive way as well, that we're being fair. That's all.
Mr.
Thank you.
Mr.
Mr.
Commissioner?
Vice Chair. Thank you.
Yeah, once we send out those letters, they will respond. And then they will respond accordingly based on our agreements, but let's move forward. That way, everybody gets their letter and then let them respond accordingly. Then we'll find out which ones do we weed out and which ones we don't. But we just have to keep them on their toes. And our attorney Miller here is a very good lawyer. I've seen him work also with COTC. And he's a very aggressive attorney.
I agree. I agree, Vice Chair. I agree also, Attorney Miller. I agree 100%. I just want to be fair. That's all. And give everyone an opportunity to come clean and come to some kind of arrangement so that we can move forward and keeping our paying accounts paying. And I understand. And you're right. I agree, but I don't think weeding out or picking out any single account is being fair. If you're gonna send a
yeah,
letter, motion and pay for every account that's outstanding, they all should get a letter. All of
that's
them.
right. That's
Okay.
what we're saying. They're all
Great.
gonna get
Okay,
a letter.
and I'm in agreement to that too. I just
Right.
know that DEPA's already on the agenda today. I just thought that
Yeah.
we should probably hear them out and see what they have to say.
Let them
I-
respond thereafter.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I think we need to be specific though, because we do have an agreement with TransSteel. We do have an agreement with Northern Market already. And
That's
and whether we need to include Weddingale, because Weddingale has made lump sum payments, although they are in arrears. They didn't make a lump sum. It looks like they're making an effort to. I just don't know how far that's gonna go. So do we be specific with this motion, or do we just send it out, period, to all those who are behind?
Mr. Chairman, if I may, and I guess
Yes,
this is probably a question for Gita. On the TransSteel payment plan, is that in writing? Or is that just a handshake deal?
That was an agreed motion, I believe, but you're asking Gita, but I from what I recall, the board did agree to give him a payment schedule. So he has a payment plan approved by the board.
And so if he's adhering to his plan, then he's not, he's not
You're gonna get a letter.
behind, he's not in default.
That's right. We can't send him a letter when we
Right.
gave him a payment plan. And I think that's also with but Northern Market can't be included because we
Right.
are, yes. So I'm just basically we're dealing now with GEPA, Guam Environmental Protection Agency, and WIC. So basically this motion is going to be specifically tailored to those agencies. Commissioner Lino?
I'll give you an example. Last week, I received a letter from my life insurance company telling us that we should up our payment, okay? Immediately I called and I said, my husband is exempted. They told me, oh, we send those letters out every July, towards the end of the month. It's computer generated. And don't worry about it, you're exempted. So with that in mind, I agree that, they would respond, like Vice Chair said. Okay, Smith Bridge, for example, or TransSteel, we did make an agreement with that. But when is his term up for the agreement that we made? Right? We just
I don't think-
send out
I don't
those
think-
letters.
Are you talking about Smith Bridge? I don't think we.
No,
Smith
not
Bridge-
Smith Bridge, TransSteel.
Yeah, you said Smith Bridge though.
No,
So
that's
TransSteel.
why. If Smith Bridge received this, oh, we're up to par, we're up, then we respond from the GLC office. This is computer generated, it's sent out to everyone. Thank you for your response. You're okay. We check you off the list. That's what Vice Chair is trying to say, that they will respond. Because I know firsthand, because I received a letter and they told me I have to raise up my monthly payment, or I'm delinquent, or they need this amount in order for my insurance not to lapse. I said, but my husband is approved. Okay, you're okay, fine. Don't worry, it's given out to everyone. We just need your response.
The problem is we're moving into our property manager's purview on that.
Right.
Yeah,
It
so
goes to them
that's our
too.
property manager's purview. They're the ones that follows up on this. So I think Vice Chair's motion is legit regarding so far it's long overdue, but I think it's specific to GEPA and not so many words, I guess, with WIC.
Well, with that in mind, of course, we have to work with them. They are our property managers, right? You have to work with them hand in hand. That okay, we're gonna send this letter out. Like I said, tell them it's
Okay.
computer generated and it's everyone gets this letter, but we need your response.
Okay, let's get we got Mr. Rios comment on this. Let's get Gita's comment, and I think Kathy, you have a comment you want to get, and I guess Commissioner Cruz. Kathy?
Yes, sir. I just wanted to say that, although when we first did our agenda for the last meeting that we had no quorum, EPA is not gonna appear today because they don't want to appear until after the reconciliation is completed.
Okay.
After reconciliation is completed with the Department of Administration and Gita is when they want to come and present to the board. But right now, they're not gonna be here today. EPA is not gonna be here today. And then with Trans Steel, the arrangement, he has up until December 2024 to pay off his arrears.
Okay, see, that's what I meant. You know, then he'll respond, oh, I'm good. Okay, you're good, Mr. Transtio, until December, but starting December 31st, make sure every month. We cannot go back and renew his thing, right? Because we already gave him that space, right?
Well, we have an agreement with them already, with Gita, so
Yes.
we shouldn't enter, we can't go and change that. We have an agreement, a motion.
Well, Kathy said you'll be up in December. That's what I'm
Yes,
saying.
after December, yes, we can,
Right.
but
Yes.
yes.
Yes. So he'll respond and said, I have up until December, and then Kathy or Gita, what's it? Yeah, you're good. You're okay. Don't worry. But after December 31st, make sure that you're in line. That's what I'm trying
Well,
to say.
that's our property managers. That's what we pay
Right.
them. We pay them to do. They're taking a chunk out of our. That's what
True,
we pay
but
them to do.
he-
So they
Before
yeah.
those letters were sent out, Gita should know. Well, you have to work. It's a working condition. Gita has to know what you're sending out, and then the respondent, things like that. You know, we have to work. It's a teamwork. Yes, I know
Well,
that's what we're doing.
Yeah,
We're
well,
doing
this
Gita.
is just basically in particular of those long-standing ones that Vice Chair's addressing, which is true, it's just so long.
That's
the-
why
the-
Jeff said
GEPA.
to,
Yeah.
to,
We don't have an agreement with GEPA just yet. We do have an agreement with TransSteel. See,
Case
so we
by
don't
basis.
have an agreement with GEPA yet, or we don't have an agreement with WIC.
Yeah, case by
So that's
case.
his motion is addressing that.
Uh-huh. Oh, I
So,
understand. Yes.
Hey, Kathy, you had something to say? Or is it Gita?
No, that was it. Just
Okay.
about GEPA and Trans Steel.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Gita, you want to add to this?
The only thing I was going to add, sir, is that sorry, this is Diego from Gita. The only thing, sir, that I was going to add was that, we understand that this has been a long, standing arrears, with EPA and WIC. And so, we did take action. We said, we contacted EPA and, we expressed the frustrations of the commission. And so, we told GIPA that, you guys owe the commission, 360,000. And, EPA responds with a different number saying, we don't think so. We think it's just 175. And so how do you reconcile that? Well, the way to reconcile that is to, to go to the ones who actually, cut the checks and make the
Right.
payments is DOA. So we go to DOA, and we both, we said, okay, DOA, could you go back in your records and, track how much how many, or, what payments have you made for on behalf of EPA for their, their rental, obligations to the ancestral. And so that's where we are at right now. So with DOA searching their records, then they would, they would probably have the best records, between all of us in how much was actually paid. So
Right.
that's where we're at right now.
Okay.
We tell the tenant, you owe this much. And if tenant doesn't agree, then we go to the money. We say, Mr. Money, DOA, how much have you paid? What does your record say? And then, so that's where we're going. So,
I recollect that in our meeting. So they
Yes.
never got back to us on that amount.
Not yet.
No, sir, it's in, right now, it's, both Ancestral and Gita and EPA as well is, we're waiting for DOA to make the call, to show us that, they have paid X number of dollars so that, so both of us can reconcile, because from Gita's point of view, it's 360. From EPA's point of view, it's 175
Wow.
that's owed. So, so we're like, hey, this is a pretty big difference here. Why don't we go to the money, to DOA, who has the, the records of payments, and, let's see what they say. So we are at that point right now.
Okay, so when was that given to, when did we ask, you approached DOA on that?
We approached DOA, I believe Tony reported that maybe 2 months ago.
Oh, so it's just
But I
recent.
Yeah,
Kind of recent.
because we were going after EPA. We tried to reconcile, our records, and we say 360. EPA, they reconciled their side and they said 175. So, who's the one that can actually say this much was paid for, for their lease would be DOA, since they're the ones that, cut the payments. And so,
Yeah.
so that's where we're at now. We're like, okay, DOA would know for sure because they have records of payment. So let's ask DOA. And so it's in DOA's hands right now.
Yeah, and I don't think we should demand an amount yet from them, even if it's the lowest amount, because then we're kind of agreeing that that would be it. I think we need to wait until DOA comes up with that proper number before we actually send out a litigation notice for their arrears.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Chairman,
Gita, wait, can you answer that real quick?
Yes, sir. The only thing I was going to say was that, we tried to work with the tenants and, not go down the litigation route. That's, that's our goal, is to try and settle, to address the problems, settle the problems before heading that direction.
Okay, so,
So,
the issue is basically not that they're gonna not pay, it's the amount now that they're saying they actually owe, because they're saying, yeah, we do
Yes, sir.
owe, but it's
Yes, they've acknowledged that they owe, and they've acknowledged that they owe 175. And, we're saying, wait, hold on. Yes, it's good that they acknowledge that they owe at least 175, or we think it's 160 or 360. And so, we turn to DOA to say, DOA, can you please verify who's correct? Because we think it's 360. They think it's 175. And,
Got it.
so, yeah.
And before I get to legal counsel, what do you think a timeline is for DOA to give us that information?
Well, so,
Anybody's guess or what?
Yes, sir. I mean, as you can imagine, just like with every other agency, we really do our best to try and, work with DOA.
Yeah, you're not
with
getting on their
everybody's-
bad sides or anything, or anybody's bad
Yeah,
side.
it's kind of like a risk. You kind of push too hard, and I don't know.
No,
I mean,
no,
we try and
I
find the
gotta-
right balance.
I've got a solution for that. Mr. Chairman,
Okay,
I
let's,
suggest, go ahead. I suggest we
sorry.
have our attorney write the Director of Administration and order him to have somebody work on that matter. Because that's 2 months ago. I've been hearing this. And let's go a direct order from our attorney that Ancestral Lands is concerned that we have two numbers, and that he'll have it, make sure the director works that out as soon as possible. Let's start sending these people letters from our attorneys. They'll wake up.
okay, Mr. Miller?
Mr. Chairman, what I was going to suggest a sort of a somewhat different approach, which is if I had a tenant who acknowledged they owed me 175, but I thought they owed me 360.
Yep.
I'd ask them to pay me the 175 today. And if you can pay me the 175 today, I can take a lot of time to talk to you about
The
how
balance.
much more do you owe me? But but as a good faith place to start this conversation, I think you owe me at least 175. You agree you owe me at least 175. So pay me 175, and then let's go talk about how much more do we owe.
Don. At least we
Gita?
got the 175.
I mean, is this SOP type of thing?
Well, that's you would want, it's SOP where you would want to collect whatever you can collect. the thing is like, I mean, EPA might, I'm reluctant to speak for what EPA would say, but if I were in EPA's position, I'll say, okay, I'll cough up the 175 if if on the condition that you, promise to agree that it's 200 or, whatever. They could come back with anything.
Right.
So,
Or
it's,
pay the
but
175.
it is a starting place. I agree with Attorney Miller that it is a starting place to, to work from. We both
Right.
agree at least 175. So just, just pay us that.
While we work out the balance, right?
Yes, while we work out the balance. Yes, sir.
Okay, Commissioner Rios, you had your hands up.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Attorney Miller. It's I think it's a little bit more difficult for us to do those kind of negotiations on with government land, which is really the people's land, to do something like that. I've never been in a situation where I'm collecting from someone and I know how much they owe, and that is what they owe. And unless they can prove otherwise, that is what they owe. And it's different when you're in a situation where you just can't pay it and you don't have the money to pay it. And it's such a large amount that you're hoping to collect at least you can, because you might not collect any of it. I don't think that's the case. I think it's just a matter of this agency that's federally funded trying to get the money to pay us. I don't think they don't want to pay us. I think they want to pay us, but I think there's a little bit of a situation there on how they get the money to pay us. So I think if we show them a ledger that said, here, this is everything you've paid, and this is the balance you owe, give it to them. Look at it. If you find one fault in one of those payments, then I think or two or three faults, or whatever kind of faults you find in a check that you've made a payment of and is not on our ledger or receiving that payment, then I think there's grounds to look further and into DOA and figure it out. But if you don't have any kind of proof at all that you have made payments that are not reflecting on our ledger, then I think you owe us what you owe us, and you need to pay, because that's the people's money. And that's, we shouldn't be able to negotiate that. It's not something we're negotiating. It's they owe it to us, and that's what Gita's records say. They owe us that amount, and they should pay it. So that's all. But yes, attorney, a letterhead from the attorney always helps. Thank you, attorney.
Very good, Commissioner. Very good. Okay, Attorney Miller, you want to finish up?
I certainly think there's the arrears owed by WIC and the arrears owed by Guam EPA are in a different situation. WIC is fully federally funded. They have to rely on off-island accountants and check writers to get them their money, and I certainly understand how their arrearage may be simply a matter of timing. That's not the case with Guam EPA. Frankly, I would be concerned. That they spend money that is appropriated by the Guam legislature, and I would be concerned that no matter what they amount of money we agree they owe, that money isn't sitting in a checkbook somewhere. That they're going to have to go back to the Guam legislature and say, hey, turns out we're short over here on the rent, and so can you give us some more money? But I think it would. My own view is it would be very useful for the Ancestral Land Commission if we got each of the tenants who owes back rent to at least for us to write them a letter, telling them to write us a letter saying, tell us exactly when, where, and how you intend to pay this off. And then the commission will be up to date on what the tenant's plans are. And then it's up to you all to decide, are you comfortable giving the tenant, that amount of time? For example, if TransSteel writes you back a letter that says, we're highly confident we'll be paid in full by December 2024, then we can all feel good about that. But I would certainly, if it were me, I would certainly be asking the tenants who are more than 60 days down in their rent to at least tell you in writing what their plan is for getting this paid off. And I would be most concerned about EPA because that's a big number, and I'm concerned. Like I said, I'm concerned that whether it's 175 or 360 or any number in between, that number isn't just those dollars aren't just sitting in some bank account somewhere waiting for a check to be written. And so even if we come to resolution with EPA on what they owe, do they have the cash in the bank to pay it off?
Yeah, that was my original inquiry.
I have a question.
Okay, real quick, regarding for the 175, if you were to pursue that still would have to come from GEPA making that request to OPA.
DOA.
DOA.
I'm sorry, yeah, DOA.
They haven't done the reconciliation. That's why they didn't show up
No,
today.
I'm asking if that basically would still come from
Yeah.
from GEPA
Sorry.
to okay that with DOA
Mm.
while we're still working out the balance. Is that how that would work?
Well, any DOA EPA would send Guam EPA would send a request to EPA. I mean to good Lord.
OPA. DOA.
GIPA
Don't
would would send a payment request to DOA, and DOA would cut the check. That's how the process works. And so it would either be an invoice or or some kind of document.
I'm in agreement with moving forward with that 175 if it's possible. I'm in agreement with trying to get that. I mean,
Mr. Chair,
an agreed amount. Let's see if we can.
the government of Guam has over $30 million in lapsed funds. Let's move forward and send these guys their letters. Let's move on to another matter. I have to leave soon. All of this stuff. Our attorney already told us how to do it.
Let's do it in a more of a reconciliatory matter that, okay, hey, listen, while we're still pursuing this, you agreed you owe us 175. Can you cut the check? Legal counsel?
Understood, but that's what the letter will say.
Okay. So can we make an amendment on that motion?
Mr. Chairman, my understanding is the first letter is simply going to ask the tenants who are behind on their rent to give the Ancestral Land Commission a document in writing indicating what their plan is for getting their debt, whatever their debt is, paid off as quick as they can. We won't threaten anybody. We won't talk about litigation. We'll just say, we need a piece of paper from you that says, how are you going to get this paid off?
Vice Chair?
Yeah, let's go with that. And then we'll send them the letter, second letter later.
Okay, so
Afterwards,
I guess you might want to retract your motion.
Well, our attorney described it that there's steps in moving forward. Let's move with the first step.
Okay, so
my motion is to amend the
so
motion to move to step one.
okay, but we still have a motion and it's seconded.
Right. I moved to amend my motion
Okay,
based on our attorney to move with the first notice. And then that's it. Then we'll move on.
okay,
from
so
there on.
Commissioner Lino, you still want to hold your second motion to that?
Yes.
Okay,
Call for the vote.
okay, discussion? No, it's new, no discussion?
We already discussed.
Okay, when we go for the vote, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? No nays. I'd like to first of all make an apology to Commissioner Cruz. You did have your hands up. I'm very sorry. It got so intense here. Did you still want to make a comment despite the fact that we did make a motion already and passed?
Yes,
I'm sorry.
just I want Diego to follow up. There was some payments that were claimed that were made to towards the rent, but they cannot find the payment received. So that's still my question. So that may be part of the 328,000 that was supposedly that is delinquent. So that's still, and we need to focus on this. We really need to collect from these tenants. That's all.
Very good. I think we did a good thing with this amended motion. I think it's a step forward. So just Marcy on that. So thank you again for that. Let's move on now. Unless there's any other questions, board members? None? Okay, we're gonna move down now to item 6, old business, the JM Stores estate. Kat, Joey, or our legal counsel, basics, our legal counsel. I guess, remember, we're just basically on the side with this. So more or less, we're just watching from the sidelines is the way I took it. We're not really involved in it.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not aware of what the JM Torres estate matter is, to be honest.
That's
with
the
you.
one with Bill Bishop's lawsuit against those former AGs, with the former AGs. That's what.
I guess we are on the sideline because I have no knowledge of it.
Yeah, you did advise us the last time that, okay, well, we're not really a party to that, but it does, because if he does win, he's donating the money to the Ancestral Lands Commission. is what he said, but it all started with that out of court settlement that didn't involve ancestral lands.
All right, well, we will certainly look into that one and have a better report for the next meeting.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so let's move down to, sorry?
Small Village, when are you scheduled to play?
Okay, let's move down to item B. That's GEPA. I guess we're done with that. We need to go with that. We already have that resolved. Old business. Item C, Farmers Market Calendar Year 2023 financial statements. Gita, that was in your report, but you want to elaborate on that?
So they did, like I said before, they did request for an extension, but I did let them know that they would have to submit a formal letter requesting for that to get approved. I just haven't heard back from them. So yeah, that's all on that
Okay.
item.
Did they give you a how long for an extension, or?
They did say, because this was back in, I want to say May, that we were talking about it, then they requested for the extension on June 19th. They requested for the extension until the ending of July, I believe. They said that they would be able to submit their financial statements at the ending of July. But I haven't heard any updates from them. I will still try to follow up with them, but haven't heard any updates.
Okay,
from them so far.
so they did not submit. Okay.
No.
Board members, any questions?
That's another matter again. That's that Farmers Co-op again has way back again since 2021. Where are they at? They're still way back there. There's no excuse. Send them a letter too.
Okay, Gita's gonna follow up with that financial statement. She was saying.
I believe they're up to date with their rent. We just have not. They're on, I believe, 2023. Yes.
Remember, it has to be at the end of the year before they submit.
Yes. So we're just pending their financial statements so that we can determine what their annual lease would be for last year.
Okay, so you're just waiting for the financial statement, but they're up to date with their rental agreement.
Yes. For
Is that
21 and
correct?
22. Yes.
21 and 22.
Yes. They already paid off.
Okay. And what's 23?
The end of the year.
I'm sorry, sir. Can you repeat?
Well, yeah, what about 2023?
2023. So what happens is we usually have to wait till the end of the year or the following year to get their financial statements for the calendar year in order to determine what their annual rent would be. So right now we're still pending submission of that so we can determine what their rent would be for 2023.
I don't know, because when it's 2023, we're already in 2024, moving on
Yes.
to 2025 already, so. No, just
But
keep up with the ball on those guys, because
Yes.
they all keep delaying and all the time. We just have to put a stop on these guys. Like I said, we just keep getting hammered left to right. And be aware, the following commissioners, your next hearing, you're gonna get hammered again. So just be prepared, and that's what we're
Sure.
trying to prevent. To
Sure.
have, they put us in public again, embarrass us. So let's start putting this on record that we're not just letting it slide. Okay? Thank you.
Okay, so just must say everyone on that. Okay, let's okay, item D, land exchange. I think this should be a quick topic. Hopefully, can we basically we did initiate this with the Director Birch. He was in favor of it too, regarding in particular our properties that have been actually been leased out by CLTC. Given the fact that, yeah, we're pretty much almost all the same beneficiaries, we were looking to see if we can work out a beneficial land exchange regarding this. So I just wanted to bring up the topic and what I'm not sure the possibilities of what it's going to be, but I'd like to get an update on this and basically what the board thinks. Commissioner Lino.
Mr. Chair, go ahead.
Oh, Commissioner Lino. You're on mute. You're on mute.
I think, I don't know if I'm behind time, but this is, which land are we trying to exchange? Land exchange, or you said it was initiated by Director Birch. What are we talking about here? Sorry.
It wasn't really initiated by Director Birch. Basically, I kind of like moved on it to see if we can resolve the issues of those properties and that we have. Joey's quite aware of where the properties are. I don't think it's that significant, but they did lease out some properties that belongs to ancestral lands. So
Are the
as
board- are the
yeah, but
board-
I was hoping to try to see if we can maximize the exchange more beneficial to both agencies, in particular, of course, our agency, because we do have, the Pagat area that has CLTC and ancestral lands lodged together.
Oh, they're encroaching.
And I wanted to try to see if we can get other exchange those properties with some other properties. That's one continuous property. So ancestral lands is continuous, and then CLTC is continuous. With contiguous, maybe that's a word for it. But it might not be a possibility. I just wanted to look into that because I want to move on going ahead, and if we can't move on ours being putting out our properties and developing those properties.
Oh, yes, that's right. I'm in favor of that, but we have to know exactly. Can we know exactly where this property is if CLTC is encroaching GALC, right?
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
I think maybe we should just touch on this right now because Director Birch is basically not here unless Kathy has an update on that. Director Birch was working on it, and then I know that he ran into a snag over there. There was some issue with CLTC's one of their meetings where he was saying he was going to end up having to recuse himself from being the director there or acting director because of something. I don't know what the update is on that right now. Unless Kathy and Joey has some information on that.
Joey, do you have any updates?
Danny.
Yes,
I
so
told
we
you to
spoke
wait.
with Joey Cruz, who's the acting director right now, and what he said he'll do is he's gonna have his land agents do another site inspection on these properties, try to assess what they're using, and hopefully they'll be able to pinpoint exactly how much acres or whatever encroachment or what they're occupying. And then he'll also be able to come up with a plan or offer what he feels that they can exchange with ancestral lands. So
Oh.
he's gonna look into that.
Okay, very good, very good. Regarding Mr. Birch, Director Birch, is he still acting director for CLTC pending his return, or did he recuse himself completely there?
We're not sure, sir. We haven't received any, he didn't say anything to that effect to us. I
Okay,
think
very
he'll give
good.
yeah, I believe he'll let everybody know once he returns.
Okay. That
Okay,
sounds,
thank you for the update. I appreciate that. Any other questions regarding this?
we should just take.
Okay, Gita, Megan?
Sorry, sir. I just had a question regarding the draft RFP that was submitted.
Okay.
Would we be able to get an okay to issue the RFP? Is that something that we can do today?
Okay, did we, the board, you did get a chance to review the draft RFP, right?
No.
No,
No, they did give it to us. It was on our previous,
no, sir.
no?
Also,
No,
just
sir.
as a, probably as a, probably a confusion is the last thing we submitted to the and to the commission was the Dawn
Yeah,
determination need. So everyone got a chance to review that. What we have now is the draft RFP itself. You know, we just wanted to get your okay to move forward with it. But the thing is, you know, we cannot put the draft RFP in your regular packet that, you know, gets sent out to everybody because, you know, it's procurement.
Oh,
Yeah, so you know, it's more for like a your eyes only. You know, we were discussing this. This is the RFP for the Teton, you know, the Teton property. We already, as Megan reported, we already did the you know, the determination of need, which, you know, which of course everybody can see. But right now, this is the RFP itself. And so, you know, we were just hoping to get your eyes on it so that you know, we can put it out, you know, on behalf of the ancestral lands. So because it's the RFP, you know, we don't want to put it in the hands of the public yet until, you know, until it's published, so that we stay in compliance with all procurement laws and regulations. That's all. But of course, you know, because it's the commission's property, then of course the commission has the purview to look it over.
how does that, so you can still move forward with the RFP, issuing the RFP pending the Dawn, right? Because they.
Yeah, we finished the first part, the Dawn. We finished that.
Okay.
We published
so-
it. It was out.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. And so
Mr.
now that the Dawn part of it is complete, we are ready to move forward with the RFP itself. Yeah, so that's, yeah, so you know, we did submit it, but you know, it wouldn't be in your packet, your regular packet, because it's a procurement. So, you know, in order to remain in compliance with procurement, it's more for your eyes only. It's the RFP itself.
Well, actually, I'm in favor of approving it, but can you just give us the gist real quick of the RFP?
Oh yeah,
Mr. Chairman, sorry to interrupt, guys. I have to leave live. I notified everybody I have a doctor's appointment.
Okay, can we see if we can, we do have a,
You still have a quorum.
a quorum.
Yeah,
Okay,
even if
so
I leave, you
Vice
still
Chair,
have a
Vice
quorum.
Chair, as far as you're concerned, the RFP, we moved forward with it. You're fine if the board moves forward with issuing the RFP, right?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, Esther. Okay, have a good one,
Thank you.
Vice Chair.
Adios,
Esther.
adios.
Adios. Okay, go ahead and finish up with what you were saying, just the gist of the
yes, sir.
RFP.
Yeah, so the gist of the RFP is the same as the Dawn. The Dawn is just a, you know, it's a general, you know, notice to the public that, you know, that this property is going to be leased out, and, you know, we're looking for more than 5 years. So it's the same property, but this is the actual RFP itself saying, you know, it's more of a technical document. It, you know, it asks for proposers, just like how we did with all the previous leases.
Okay.
Yeah, it's, please, the ancestral lands, it's announcing that this property is available for lease. All potential offers, please submit your proposal, in this manner, in this way. Proposals will be due on X day, things like that. So it's really just an extended dawn.
Mhm.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. You did get a couple of inquiries? Not yet, right? Or something like that, because you still need.
Not yet, sir.
Not
Okay.
yet.
We did, in following the process, step one is to do the dawn and,
Yeah.
check for any public comments, while it's out. And there were no public comments. And so, we're ready to move to the next step, which is to issue the RFP itself, the solicitation. So, so it's available there if you want, but, it's pretty much, just to sum it up, it's pretty much just,
Very
it
good.
describes the property the same way as the dawn. And so, we're ready to move forward. And
Okay.
so if the commission's okay with us to move forward, we can.
Okay, questions, board members? For Diego and Gita? Okay, Commissioner Lino. You're on mute.
I'm always on mute. Okay. Refresher, which property are we talking about?
This is the property in Tizen, right across from, the entrance to the VA and the Social Security.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our old
Yes.
office.
Yeah, where the cars parked right now,
Yeah.
the building, yeah,
Yes.
that used to be our office.
Yes.
Oh, but where did you guys find out whose cars parked there?
I know Mr. Rios, Commissioner Rios has pointed that there was a car there, but we're moving forward with this. I'm not sure who's there right now.
Don't we need to know? Don't we need to
Oh.
find out?
Well,
Is
that's a
it
different
part of,
matter.
yeah,
think
is
we'll
it
find
part
out
of
clearly after
the
the
RFP?
That's a good question. Magay, who's staying there?
Yeah, who's staying there? Because I take that route daily, but I don't want to come.
I said maybe we all go and look at it, and it's Uncle Bastian that's staying there.
Yeah, because I'm afraid all by myself, but I don't think that's proper for a car to be parked there in government land.
Okay. So, any questions for the RFP with Gita?
No, I don't have.
Okay. Can we get a motion? We need a motion and a second to have Gita issue the RFP.
Okay, maybe I'll make the motion.
Okay.
Okay, you're gonna make the motion, Commissioner Lino?
Yeah, my motion on the floor will be to allow Gita to proceed with the RFP for the Tijan property.
Okay,
Okay,
motion's on the floor. Very good. We are a second?
I'll second that.
Oh, seconded by Commissioner Cruz. All in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? No nays. Acting Director, Joey, motion passes. So just Masi,
Motion
okay,
passed. Thank you.
okay, let's go down to new business. No new business.
gotcha,
No new business.
gotcha.
Cat,
No, sir, there's none. I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was on mute.
okay,
No
no
new
problem.
business.
Okay, public comments.
Nobody signed up for public comments either, sir.
Okay, very good. Our next GLC meeting. We're down to item 9. Announcements.
Yeah, our next meeting is supposed to be scheduled August 14th, which is our regular second Wednesday of the month schedule. Unfortunately, but if we're gonna keep it at August 14th, we're gonna need to have an agenda approved by this Friday.
That's tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Like today's Wednesday, in 2 days, we're gonna need to have an approved agenda so we can send to the printers by Monday.
Okay,
Okay,
unless
we-
we,
do we need to
push
have
it.
another, do we need to have another meeting, a pressing meeting for that day? Or do we want to just schedule for another week or so after the 14th? Is there any pressing?
I suggest that we make it the following week in case something else arises.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's delay it a week so that it'll give us time to come up with if we need other things to add to the agenda. I know we need to include the update from the legal counsel regarding what we just passed today.
Mm-hmm, the Taurus case.
The Torres case, yeah, and I guess that
Non-exchange.
the motion that was amended by Vice Chair and seconded by Commissioner Lino that was passed.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll have it for August 21st.
Okay, very good. And
That'll be a week later.
Yeah.
okay, and commissioners, please turn in your applications as soon as possible.
When they're gonna, that's why I'm complaining now or asking questions, because if I sit there and they question me something and what, I'm gonna sit there and go, oh, I don't know. Ron didn't tell me. Or Ron told me this, right?
Well, depending on what happens, you know, a lot of our I think we need, oh, Kat, we might need an update on the expiration of our you know, our term, because I know there's 3 months and then 3 working sessions.
3
If-
legislative sessions, we're down 2 already.
Yeah.
Because they called special session.
So 1 more, and then after that, that's it, right?
Correct, sir.
Yeah, so then the commission will be operating about commissioners and no what do they call that? Quorum, no quorum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
I just like to know because like I like the list of all properties that we have. Because if it comes my turn and they ask me how many properties in our hand and I don't know, I don't want to feel dumb right there. Okay? Because I was there
yeah.
towards the end of the confirmation for the 2 girls, 2 ladies, and they did ask questions that I learned a lot from just being asked. those questions.
That's right. It's good to have Joey and Joey there. And everything's
I
rather
know.
because it doesn't matter if you have the Einstein up there, you know.
I know.
There's so many things going on and there's just
Yeah.
so many information. We got to know our limitations, and that's why it's good to have our experts there.
But
It's
when
a
they're
good
asking
I
me the
agree.
particular
Yeah, you know.
question, Joey cannot be the one to answer that because if they look at your eyes and directly towards you, that means you better answer that question, right? I'm gonna look at Joey, under the table, answer that question. Okay, anyways, just to, you know.
Yeah, you're right. Even a ballpark figure might work as long as you're near it.
Yeah.
You're not too far off.
Right.
You know,
Okay,
yeah, and you know, being a good, you know, leader is knowing your limitations. We don't know everything. You
No.
know, those that claim they know everything, you know, that's the problem.
I just tell them, my chair told me. Just kidding.
Okay, so we are on the 21st. August 21st is our next meeting.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's Juice Masi, everybody, again, for this meeting, appearing to this meeting, legal counsel, Gita, staff and management of
Motion
COT,
to
our
adjourn.
legal counsel, Juice Masi. Thank you very much. So motion to adjourn, motion to adjourn.
adjourn.
This meeting, it's about 3:48 PM. This meeting is
Okay.
adjourned.
Yay.
John,
you.
salute, Fonzie.
Commissioner Rios, be careful, be safe, everybody be safe. Take care. Thank you.
Bye.